don't look at the decor, it'll make you feel worse. So Gordon's Bush is all dead flat, well maintained trail suitable for everybody, including people with mobility issues, and it's about 5 minutes from town. It's also an original strand of bush that escaped bushfires from memory. So some beautiful big kahikatea and a lot of bird life. Kind of hard to capture on camera just how big some of these trees are. It's only quite a small bush reserve, about a 5-minute loop around it, but definitely worth a look. And just a nice easy stroll. About 6 weeks ago I had what seemed like a minor knock to the head. That wasn't until a week later, and it started affecting my speech, my vision, and that's kind of knocked me around really hard. So, for want of a better way to put it, a major shake up, and made me realise that I need to take this quite seriously. I had initially brushed it off because it was a minor knock by comparison to the multiple other much more serious ones over the years. This is part of my trying to get back on track with some gentle exercise, not pushing myself, and so let's carry on and see how that goes. Sutherland's bush. Never been here before, got no idea what to expect. I've been past it on the bike on numerous bikepacking trips and always wanted to stop. So today I have. So I've opted for the short track here, doing the 30-minute loop, which I think will be less than 30 minutes, but finding that I don't believe my balance is quite as good as it should be. So I'm not taking any chances on this, but I do want to come back in the future because it is quite an interesting wee reserve. What this experience has taught me is that it's not about what you used to be able to do or what other people can do. It's about doing what you're able to do. And currently I'm able to do a little bit less, even driving out here, looking at the road, which I've ridden on many a bikepacking trip, and that's got me wanting to get out and do that again. But I'm not rushing a recovery. This is the first time it's ever caused me an issue and left me quite rightfully worried about it. From age 15 to 22, I averaged a broken helmet through impact every 9 months. Some of them quite significant. One, 20 years later, still can't remember 12 hours of my life. Well, no, there is one thing that I can remember, and that is a brief moment of being wheeled through Tauranga Hospital and whoever was pushing me on the gurney saying, "Don't look at the decor, it'll make you feel worse." I remember before the accident, and that, nothing else until I got out of hospital sometime the next day. Yeah, something minor seems to have messed me up, so old age catches up with you. After a bit of a hack, back on the track again. Makes it a bit easier for the next person. Can be down, but not out. That's kind of how this is. Throughout this process, I've slowly been gaining my inspiration back, but lacking my motivation. So motivation's slowly coming back. Clearly my brain's not braining properly. I've just gone and done that and left my phone sitting in the window of the Land Rover on the side of the road. To keep this interesting, instead of going for walks that I'm not going to complete, because I just don't think it's a good idea, I'm going to go for a bit of a snoop, if I can get my seatbelt to work. Just stopped in the middle of the Turkina Valley. Might not be completely the middle, but certainly in the upper part of the Turkina Valley, which the reason I've stopped is these cliffs. If we walk up a little bit further around the corner, I have no idea how far back you have to go for this to have been underwater and different geological events in New Zealand, but it's one of the neat little hidden treasures of the Turkina Valley. Some much more famous oyster cliffs on the Wanganui River Road. If you've seen my bikepacking on the Wanganui River Road, stopped and looked at those. And speaking of bikepacking, if scenery up through here is interesting, then comment below if you'd like to see a bikepacking video through this area. I have done it before, but as I mentioned before, kind of keen to come back out and do it again, have a little bit of a look around again. And again, now that I'm filming it, I've had a bit of a break from riding this area because you know how it is. Couldn't help but notice the fungi on this tree. One of the things about being out in the middle of nowhere is the throwbacks and just things that you don't see every day. One of them, Telescum logo. I can't even remember when Telescum changed their name. They've changed it that many times, and let's face it, it doesn't really matter what they call it. It's still the same big balls up that it's always been. But quite an interesting throwback. And then likes of this old building over here through the trees. So it's always a good idea to check your map, because at the junction I'm going to turn right, so I'm driving by feel, not to be confused with driving by touch. That causes damage. But that would have brought me out around Mangaweka somewhere, which I don't want to go yet. So let's go this way. So that little old house over there has been on my list for so long, but anytime I'm passing through here, like most times I'm going anywhere, I'm on a bit of a mish. Thankfully, perfect timing, the rain's cleared as I've come out just north of Taihape, and the light's spectacular, so hopefully I've actually got that with the rainbow in the background, because it's just a beautiful contrast. Let's carry on. Another couple of random stops and things to look at possibly. See where we end up. So on the hunt for old buildings and stuff, I've never actually been off the main road in Mangaweka to the old main street. Quite cool. Some of them are for sale at the moment by auction, so I imagine they'll probably get sold, and well, you never know, they might get restored and potentially not look as cool. That's just me.